Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechak double honors to the Apostle It was a great millstone, and salutes on to you brothers out there preaching his word, sharing your truth. All right, coming to another video. I got this article here from Zero Hedge. It's entitled, "A Very Dangerous Moment. Hungary's Orban warns Tucker a third world war is knocking on the door." All right. Said during Tucker Carlson's recent visit to Budapest, where he gave a speech apologizing for the disgusting behavior of U.S. ambassador to Hungary, former Fox News anchor sat down with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Orban, Hungary's longest-serving prime minister, knows a thing or two about Russia, having grown up under their occupation and been arrested and thrown into jail by Russian-backed police for his efforts to liberate the country. And Ukraine, a nation with which it shares a border, and so Tucker sat down to ask him what exactly is going on in Ukraine right now, given the propagandic opacity of news in America. It's not just a misunderstanding, it's a lie. Orban begins when asked about the fact that American media continue to claim that Ukraine is winning the war. All right. America is known as Great Babylon according to the Bible. The word Babal means confusion. All right. And America is full of confusion. All right. Let me grab a scripture real quick. Nahum, the third chapter. Now, Nahum gets into Nineveh, and America is also known as Nineveh because America basically upholds all the idols and philosophies of the ancient pagan empires that was back in the past, man. All right. So the book of Nahum, third chapter, it's also talking about America as well. Nahum 3:1 said, "Woe means destruction. Woe to the bloody city." And America is known as a bloody city. All right. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Let's read the NLT. "What sorrow awaits Nineveh, the city of murder and lies. She is crammed with wealth and is never without victims." All right. And that's this place, America, man. Turn on the TV, it's full of lies. Shit. You get robbed every freaking day. Taxes, inflation, which is a hidden tax. Shit. You walk outside and a nigga rob you. You know. Every thieves, you know. That's why y'all always said, set up your treasures in heaven. Okay? If you set up your treasures on earth, thieves can come through and rob you, man. All right? This is Esau Edom's world, which you're going to have a whole lot of chaos. Lies, robbery, murder, covetousness, adultery. All right? So let's go back to this, man. So this guy is basically saying, you know, they showing the Ukraine war on, you know, American TV, and they say they're winning the war. It says bullshit. It's an outright lie. And I know this guy, Tucker Carlson, he said he wanted to do a interview with Putin. I don't know how that's going to work out. He suggests that Biden administration misunderstands Russia and attempting to remove Putin could lead to dangerous instability. To understand the Russians is a difficult thing, especially if you have an ocean between you and Russia. Orban points out the Western political conversations often center on freedom, while Russia conversation focus on keeping the country together, and warns against the dangerous implications of the U.S. strategy. particularly for countries like Hungary that are geographically closer to conflict. Say don't misunderstand Russia's, so they are not going to get sick of Putin and throw him out. Come on, it's a joke. All right. I haven't watched the interview. I'm just reading the article. Some points out of this. I want to see where you talked about World War III. Talking about Big Trump in here. Here we go. Said additionally commenting on the fact that the U.S. government is currently indicting a former president, the Hungary leader frowns and says using the justice system against a political opponent in Hungary, that's impossible to imagine. That was done by communists. His most ominous warning comes last. This is a very dangerous moment. He concludes, adding that it should be obvious to everyone that the Third World War is knocking on our door. All right. So these nations know that World War III is inevitable. Okay. Come back to Joel 3rd chapter, which is ultimately Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is putting in the minds of these leaders of these nations to, I'm going to read it. Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, which are the other nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And talking about World War III. Get ready. Okay, what you do to get ready for war? Get your military surplus, geared up. Building missiles. Manufacturing. Military equipment. Which are the missiles, guns. Fighter jets, helicopters, tanks, Humvees. Prepare your men for war. Train your men up for war. Okay. And these countries like China and Russia, they are preparing. Unlike America, which is great Babylon, confusion. They're not preparing their citizens for war. It's all bread and circus over here. That's why when the Lord comes back, it's gonna be a thief in the night, man. Okay. Especially to you Americans. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares and the swords, and your pruning hooks and the spears. Okay. Which are, plowshares and pruning hooks are, instruments of, farming, instruments to basically build, grow, okay, increasing something, okay. But swords and spears, what? That's for destruction, okay, war. Let the weak say I'm strong. And that's what countries like Iran and North Korea, Russia was at a weak point, during the 90s. Now they a superpower, man. China was weak at some point. Now they're a superpower. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither calls the mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And the valley of Jehoshaphat is basically in the Middle East. That's what all the troops are gonna assimilate and fight against each other. the NATO and EU countries, including America, versus Russia, China and Iran, the BRICS nations. Okay, they're gonna fight against each other. But there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about, and having these nations fight against each other. That's the Lord judging the nations. Okay, put ye in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Yep. That's why it's Third World War, because the wickedness on the earth is great. It's too great. The wickedness overflows, man. Yeah. Multitudes in the valley of decision. But the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay. Which is the same place in the Middle East. And that links up with Armageddon as well, which is the mountain of the troops. Right? Jeremiah 51. And Russia plays a pivotal part in World War III. And that's the ultimate adversary against Great Babylon, America. Let's see. I'm trying to find a Mede. There we go. In Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows. The arrows are the missiles. Gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. And the Medes are known as the Russians, because that's the land of Media. The ancient landmass, man, of the Medes. And the Edomite Russians, the Edomites over there say they're Russians. They're basically inhabiting the land of the Medes, and also known as Gog and Magog in Ezekiel 38, for his devices against Babylon, which is America, to destroy it. Because the Lord's using the Russians to destroy America, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Okay? All these nations are basically pawns for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. And why the Lord is preparing World War III? For the sake of Israel, man. Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, that's how the Lord is going to destroy the nations, man. This is, I say this is one of the exercises the Lord is destroying the nations. And Yahushua is going to come back with the finishing blow. All right, and the nuclear destruction. Set up the standard among the walls of Babylon, which is America. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare ambushes. For the Lord has both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Okay. So yeah. This dude's right, man. Orban's right, man. He knows a Third World War is imminent, inevitable. All right. And this Third World War is going to take millions and millions of bodies, man. All right. And therefore, it's going to be a draft. It's going to be a world war draft. All right. I say a world draft, especially here in Great Babylon, America. All you Babylonians, between certain ages, you're going to get drafted over there to fight this Third World War. And that's your judgment. All right? And a lot of JQ Israelite, you're going to get drafted over there, man. They come with a chip in your ass. They're going to train you up for 2-3 weeks, and you're going to get sent over there and die. All right? So that's pretty much all I got. Shalom.